Brothers and sisters, Imam al-Shirazi, rahimahullah, has this profound story with his father. He says that one night my father and I were awake and we were praying Qiyamul Layl. How beautiful when a father and son stand up and pray Qiyam together. Everything you'd want in terms of a righteous household. And he said that I was a young man and I looked around and I recognized that we were amongst the few that were up and praying. Meaning what? The people in the neighborhood, the people around, were all sleeping. So I said to my father, none of these people wanted to even wake up and pray 2 rak'ahs, right? As if to say, look at us and look at them. Alhamdulillah, we're awake and we're praying, and look at all of these people. None of them are up to pray 2 rak'ahs at night. And he said, my father said to me, oh my son, if you would have slept, it would have been better than you waking up. It's a powerful narration, a powerful story. It would have been better for you to stay asleep and not pray than to wake up with pride in the way that you look at those that are around you, right? You could develop pride because of one deed that you have, and the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever has 1 atom's worth of kibr in their hearts, 1 atom's worth of pride in their hearts will not enter into Jannah. So it might be just the idea that you pray Jum'ah and someone else doesn't pray Jum'ah, that you've developed this disease of kibr in one regard, and an atom's worth of that pride is enough to ruin a person. This portion from Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala on the spiritual disease. He says, any sin that you taunt your brother for, know that it will come back to you. And he mentions that the Prophet ﷺ was narrated to have said that whoever taunts his brother with a sin will not die until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests them with committing that exact same sin. An important clarification that Imam Ahmad rahimahullah said, this means a sin that that person repented from. Especially, you're talking about the repenter who's forsaken a sin. You may be taunting them for a sin that Allah has forgiven them for, or may forgive them later for when they repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or through His mercy forgives them anyway. But Allah does not forgive you for your mockery of that person in that regard. Your mocking of your brother or your taunting of your brother or sister when they're in that sin is worse than the sin that they're committing in the first place. Said it may be that that person's brokenness and what has come to them of humiliation that caused them to relinquish any feeling of pride that affects the people of worship. They feel low, and in their lowness, that led them to bow their heads in regret to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Broken-hearted, flowing tears, that is far better and more beneficial than your proud worship that you repeat habitually and you bring up with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you boast about it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His creation as if you are owed some sort of position and some sort of rank. So how close is this sinner to the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how close is this worshipper, this arrogant worshipper, to the anger and the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is subhanAllah a very powerful story that one of the salihin, one of the righteous scholars, had a neighbor who was known for being an alcoholic. And when the neighbor passed away, the wife of that neighbor asked this person, the scholar, to come and pray janazah, and the scholar abstained. Why? Because it's an alcoholic. But the moral of the story is that he abstains, and then he sees a dream at night, and he sees this man walking in Jannah and enjoying the fruits of Al-Jannah. And the man is saying, tell that man that Alhamdulillah, Jannah is not in his hands, that the keys of Jannah are not in his hands. So he goes to the wife of this person and he asks her, what is it about this man? What is it about your husband that passed away that I'm missing here, sharing this dream? And she says, huwa ma ta'rifu anhu. He is as you saw him. He was an alcoholic. He had this problem. He was indeed struggling with this sin. The only thing is that on Fridays, every Friday, he would go and he would feed the orphans of his neighborhood, and he would accompany them and spend time with them, and he would cry and he would say, make dua for your uncle. Make dua for your sinful uncle, and it may be that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered the dua of one of those orphans. Focus on yourself. Focus on your flaws. This is not a don't judge the sin. This is don't pass final judgment on the sinner. We don't lose the status of the sin in Islam. We know what a major sin is. We know what open fahisha is, open wickedness is, and open lewdness is, and it's condemnable. And the Prophet ﷺ indeed said that Allah will forgive all of the sins except for the ones that are boasted about. But be careful.